Life is full of twists and turns. We face challenges, uncertainties, and situations beyond our control. It's easy to get caught up in trying to control everything. We stress over the future. We worry about things that might never happen. But trying to control everything is like trying to hold back the tide. It's exhausting and ultimately impossible. We weren't designed to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. We weren't meant to have all the answers or to be able to fix everything. Our human efforts have their limits. There's a point where we need to let go and let a higher power take over. When we try to control everything, we live in a constant state of tension and anxiety. We never truly relax. We never fully experience the peace and joy that life has to offer. We become prisoners of our own making, trapped by our need to be in control. But there's a better way to live, a way that frees us from the burden of control and opens us up to a life of peace, joy, and abundance. It starts with a simple yet profound decision, the decision to let go and let God. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean becoming passive or resigning ourselves to a life of mediocrity. Instead, it's about recognizing our limitations. It's about acknowledging that there's a power greater than ourselves at work in the universe. Letting go is an act of faith and trust. It's about surrendering our worries, fears, and need for control to God. It's about trusting that He has a plan for our lives, a plan far greater than anything we could ever imagine. When we let go, we open ourselves up to a world of possibilities. We free ourselves from the limitations of our own thinking. We create space for God to work in our lives in ways we never thought possible. Letting go can be scary at first. It requires us to relinquish control. It requires us to trust in something we can't see or fully understand. But the rewards are immeasurable. Faith is the bridge that carries us from worry to peace. It's the assurance that even though we may not understand everything that happens, God is still in control. He's still working everything out for our good. He sees the bigger picture even when we can only see the pieces right in front of us. Faith isn't about ignoring our problems or pretending they don't exist. It's about facing our challenges with courage and confidence. Knowing that we don't have to face them alone. We have a God who loves us unconditionally, a God who is always with us, every step of the way. Faith is a muscle that grows stronger with use. The more we trust in God, the more we experience His faithfulness in our lives. We begin to see His hand at work in the everyday moments. We find peace in the midst of uncertainty. We discover a strength that surpasses our own. I remember a time when I was facing a particularly difficult situation. I had done everything I could to fix it. I had prayed, I had planned, I had exhausted all my resources. Yet the situation remained unchanged. I was filled with worry and anxiety. I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. One day, as I was praying, I felt a sense of peace wash over me. A voice whispered in my heart, "Let go, Joel, let me handle it." In that moment I realized I had been holding on too tightly. I had been trying to control something that was ultimately out of my control. So I made the decision to let go. I surrendered the situation to God. I trusted that He knew what was best, even if I didn't understand. And you know what? A weight lifted off my shoulders. I felt a sense of peace I hadn't felt in weeks. Surrendering to God isn't a one-time event, it's a daily choice. It's about moment by moment giving our worries and fears over to Him. Here are a few practical ways we can practice surrender in our daily lives. Start your day with prayer. Give your worries and concerns to God, ask for His guidance and peace throughout the day. Focus on what you can control. Instead of dwelling on things you can't change, shift your energy to what you can do something about. Practice gratitude. When we focus on the good in our lives, it's easier to let go of the negative. Trust in God's timing. Sometimes what we want most in life takes time. Trust that God's timing is perfect. Find joy in the journey. Life is a gift. Don't get so caught up in reaching your destination that you forget to enjoy the journey. When we let go and let God, we open ourselves up to a life of peace, joy, and abundance. We free ourselves from the shackles of worry and control. We discover a strength and resilience we never knew we had. The peace that comes from letting go isn't the absence of problems. It's the presence of God in the midst of our storms. It's the assurance that no matter what we face, we don't face it alone. We have a God who loves us, a God who cares for us, a God who is always in control. So, let go, let God, and embrace the peace that surpasses all understanding.